Ever wondered what would happen if the US was under a nuclear attack? No, I'm not talking about your favorite post-apocalyptic movie. I'm talking real life, folks. Today we're going to take a look at the Pandora's box that is the US's nuclear weapons policy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, another doomsday scenario. But hey, we've all secretly wondered about it, right? Sure, we'd all love a good Mad Max scenario, but let's face it, real life isn't a Hollywood blockbuster. There are no script rewrites, no stunt doubles, and definitely no retakes if things go south. But don't worry, this isn't going to be a gloom and doom talk. We're here to learn, and maybe have a few laughs along the way. So how would Uncle Sam respond to a nuclear attack? Well, let's dive into the rabbit hole, shall we? First things first, the US president doesn't just press a big red button and boom! It's a bit more complicated than that. And no, it's not like ordering a pizza. You see, the process of launching a nuclear strike is a bit like planning a surprise party. You need to make sure everything is in order before the big event. First, the president has to authenticate himself using a set of codes, known as the biscuit. No, it's not the kind you dunk in your tea, but it's just as important. Then the president consults with his military advisors and makes the decision to strike. It's like choosing the toppings on your pizza, only instead of pepperoni or mushrooms, it's cities and military bases. And then, only after this rigorous process, the president can give the order to launch. Yeah, because when it comes to nuclear war, we want to make sure we get our order right? So, after all the checks and balances, we get to the fun part. Retaliation. But it's not as simple as an eye for an eye. So, we've been attacked. Now what? Does Uncle Sam just pull out a map and play pin the tail on the donkey to decide where to strike back? Not quite. The US has a detailed retaliation strategy in place, and it's not just drawn up on the back of a napkin, folks. It's more like a high-stakes game of chess, except the pawns are nuclear warheads, and the board is the entire world. The principle of proportional response is key, meaning the US would strike back with an equivalent level of force. Think of it as the eye for an eye principle, but on a global scale. It's not about revenge, but about deterrence and maintaining a delicate balance of power. But here's where it gets interesting. The US can choose to retaliate with conventional or nuclear forces, depending on the intensity of the initial attack. So that's the US's nuclear retaliation strategy in a nutshell. But remember, folks, it's all fun and games until someone loses a city. Okay, so we've retaliated. It's all over, right? Well, not exactly. There's the small matter of the aftermath to deal with. Now let's imagine, just for a moment, the fallout of such a scenario. And I'm not just talking about the nuclear kind. I mean, who needs diplomacy when you have nuclear weapons, right? But in the wake of such an event, the diplomatic aftermath would be a bit like trying to play chess on a board that's on fire. You could say it would be explosive. Then there's the humanitarian fallout. Picture a world where the concept of neighbour is replaced with radioactive wasteland. Not exactly the kind of neighbourhood you'd want to raise your kids in, is it? And let's not forget about the economic fallout, because nothing screams economic stability quite like nuclear annihilation, does it? So, there you have it, folks. The US's response to a nuclear attack. Let's just hope it remains a hypothetical scenario, shall we?